So, guess I've kind of decided that I'm gonna try my hand at all this YouTube vlog stuff. Don't know if anybody will watch it. Don't know if a million people will watch it. Don't know if I'll look like an idiot. At this point, I don't really care. I don't know really where to start, I guess. I guess I'll just start with about 11 months ago. I was given the best gift that I think you can be given. And for many years, I thought that was... Unfortunately, I thought that was the worst gift that could be given. I thought that it was kind of the end of your life. It was it was just a lot. I thought it was a lot, and it is a lot. It's a lot. A lot of work, a lot of responsibility, a lot of sleep lost, a lot of money. I guess you could say lost. It depends on how you look at it. That's definitely how I used to look at it, unfortunately. But I digress. 11 months ago, I was Lacey and I had a baby, a beautiful little baby girl, and she is, man, I know it's cliche, I know you hear it all the time, kids will change you, and it, man, she did, man. For so long I was afraid to be around babies, and whether that's, kind of a lack of patience and just the way I was kind of brought up. I went through a pretty kind of shitty childhood. Maybe we'll get into that in future videos and whatnot. But I always kind of was just real leery about being around babies and kids, and they made me nervous, and they were gross and gooey and sticky and snotty, and as far as babies, they were fragile, and I was afraid to break them, so to speak, even just holding them. But the one thing that I'm kind of realizing, even as I say this, I think the main thing that kept me so leery of children was they're just unpredictable. It doesn't matter, what you think you have mapped out, and it doesn't, what you do or can do or try to do for children or whatnot. They're just sporadic, man. They just do whatever the hell they want, frankly. And that, it's like Lacey's always said, God gives you, even as far as children, God gives you what He thinks you need, or what, not thinks but knows. I mean, God knows, let's just be honest. He knows what you need. And I have struggled with patience for so long in my life. Patience, man. Just whether it was driving or relationships or co-workers, employees, hell, myself. I mean, I got just on too many occasions just stupidly mad over stuff that I was doing that I really couldn't control. Working on a car, the bolt won't go in the hole right. Spent 30 minutes and I would just freak out, punch shit, hit shit, And I'm not saying all that's gone, but I can tell you that there's been many a day, many a night for 11 months now where Cooper just, man, she just lights a fire in me that's like, child, what are you doing? I need to go to sleep. There's people around. We need to be quiet. We need to leave and go do this. We don't have time to do that. And as much as that fire is lit inside of me, it's just like, it's wrapped in this. It almost doesn't even matter because I love you so much. And man, there's a lot that I can't necessarily put into words. But back to what I was originally saying is, so I was given this, just the greatest gift you can be given, I think, as a child. And she was born healthy and beautiful and smart, and just, she really is gorgeous. She's adorable. And I know that everyone is, they have a bias to their children. I understand that, and I will admit that I do as well. But outside of that bias, I mean, we literally get compliments everywhere we go on just how adorable she is in every way, shape, and form. So I think might have the prettiest baby in the world. So that being said, I have wasted you know, 28, no wait, I'm 30, I'm almost 34, man, my birthday's January, I was born in 1990, so I'm almost 34 years old now, holy buckets. So I've wasted probably about 32 years of my life. Some of that was to my own negligence, stupidity, dumb choices, drugs, alcohol, infidelity, insecurity, just quite a vast array of things. So some of that, most of that, 95.6% of that was my fault. And it rings so true how that when we're young, we really do think we know it all, and we think that everybody that has something to tell us hasn't been in our shoe. You don't understand. My situation's different. I'm different. I see things different. I roll different. I have been handed a different deck of cards, or a hand of cards, and some of that's true. Some of that is true. I as I continue to grow as just a human being, I have found that I really do view things different than a lot of people. But regardless, most, if not all, of the quote-unquote lessons that people try to hand down are the same. Sure, there's some different context in there, there's some different variables, there's just some different aspects, but a lot of these lessons, these principles, these ideas that are handed down through generation and generation, a lot of them are the same. And if they're not exactly the same, then they can be, applied to many different aspects of life and many different aspects of human nature and human possibility and so on and so forth. So, I keep going on these tangents, and that's kind of the point of this video, is to do that, but at the same time, I'm kind of losing track of what I'm also at work, so I'm kind of thinking I'm about to pull up on this job site over here to check on my guys, but what I wanted to really kind of say is that I believe that we are, as Americans, we are entering a completely different phase of this kind of life that we've never seen, we've never been a part of, we've never had to deal with. I think as Americans, we have always seen ourselves as essentially impenetrable, not able to be penetrated, essentially, from by evil or foreign actors, so to speak. And I think we have allowed ourselves to be susceptible to these things by creating this idea or letting this idea evolve that we need to be nice to everybody, that we need to support everybody, that no matter who feels what way or why they feel that way or so on and so forth, that they need to know that they're right and that we support them and that we love them, and basically they are entitled to do or act as how they feel because of this principle. And the problem is that's not the way it's supposed to be. I'm sorry, that's how it is. No one is really entitled to anything outside of getting up every day and doing the best you can, you know. The things that I've seen, and unfortunately and fortunately, I haven't really witnessed them in person. You know, I live in Iowa. It's mostly flyover country. It's, you know, we're not massively populated, although we're growing quite rapidly and have been for about, probably the better part of 5 years. Anyways, I don't live in this big sprawling Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta, you know, Dallas, you know, so I haven't seen a lot of these things firsthand, so to speak, but I have been watching, and I'm in a position at my job where, not consistently, but through the course of the day, I can listen to about 8 to 11 hours worth of podcasts and news and YouTube and so on and so forth. And just the things that I've seen going on and the dots that can be connected. Now, the thing that I'm really trying to figure out is, again, I go back to where I say, you know, I view things differently, and it seems like I've viewed things a lot differently than a lot of people, and I've been called crazy or conspiracy theorist or so on and so forth, but the dots that I see that are just connecting and connected by themselves, no one else is really calling them out the way that they should be. And I don't know if that's due to our political correctness, fear of stepping on someone's feet or hurting their feelings, or frankly, a weaponized police state kind of government. So to kind of cut this off, again, I got to get to my guys over here and make sure they're doing all right. They're great guys. They're awesome. By the way, I work with and technically for Mexican guys. Love them. I love Hispanic people. For the most, I'm sure just like anybody else, there's bad ones, but just putting that out there. I know that a lot of people try to put the whole racism stuff out there, not necessarily with me, but just in general. There's not that attitude in this life that's being portrayed. And I think a lot of us need to step out and really start speaking against these things that they're trying to say that we're guilty of, whether it's just whatever it is. Anyways, before I go, I just wanted to say that we need to stay keen, and we need to stay alert and aware of the the things that are going on around us. That's the best way I can say it. We need to stay very aware of the things that are going on around us, because I think for so long, so many of us have been tuned into social media and videos and apps and pictures and friends and FaceTimes and so on and so forth. Sure, that's all good in its own right, but there's so much going on around us that most of us don't even pick our heads up, literally. Don't even pick our heads up long enough to see the space around us and what's actually going on. And I'll continue, hopefully, to, I don't know, kind of air out some feelings that I have about all this stuff. But before I go, the main thing I wanted to say is that a lot of this is spiritual. Well, there's to it. It's a spiritual fight. A lot of it won't make sense because you don't look at it as, you can't look at this as person against person necessarily. You got to look at it as good against evil, against, Satan basically against God, or demons against angels, or, and that's my core belief. That's what this is. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe Jesus died for our sins. I believe he rose again for our sins and to conquer our sins. And as these things progress, hopefully I get the opportunity to keep making dumb videos that maybe nobody will watch. But as these things progress, I'll kind of go more into that and the things that I see and the things that I kind of believe. And just kind of an insight maybe to an average 34-year-old male's perspective on where America is, where we used to be, where we should be, and so on and so forth. So again, this is kind of the first video. May not go anywhere, but I'll probably still put them out there. This one's gonna be a little shorter. I don't really know what time frame I might be putting on these things. I guess I'll just kind of talk until I get bored of myself, which means you guys will probably really be bored of it. But I gotta meet with this city guy and whatnot. So thanks for listening, and there should be more to come. So appreciate it, guys. Have a good day.